Nothing is more satisfying than when members of your own party, who once stood shoulder to shoulder with you and supported you, are now exposing you because of your dirty and disgraceful politics and your cheap decisions. So here's what just happened. Republican former Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene just screamed at the MAGA boss for doing things that are clearly not America first. Before anything else, take a careful look at this clip.
Megyn, this really needs to be said. Donald Trump has said repeatedly on camera and in interviews, he doesn't think he's going to heaven. Well, I want to ask a question, a serious question. What is in his mind? What is his mental state? If he doesn't think he's going to heaven and he is a man towards the end, he's in the fourth quarter, he's towards the end of his life. How does that pan out for the rest of us when we have a president of the United States who doesn't think and is convinced he's not going to heaven? What does that mean his decision making is? He already said to the New York Post today that he doesn't care about the polling. He doesn't care about what the American people think, and he may put troops on the ground. He took this is going to be a few-day war, to now it's going to be maybe 4 weeks or more. I want to say, what is happening to the man that I supported, you supported, the man that denounced what happened in Iraq, the man that said no more foreign wars, no more regime change, promised it on the campaign. J.D. Vance promised it. Tulsi Gabbard promised it. All of them promised it. And we're a year in, and we're in another fucking war, and we've got American troops being killed. I think it's time for America to rip the Band-Aid off, and we need to have a serious conversation about what the fuck is happening to this country.
Literally, this is the first time I'm seeing a former congresswoman react like this while exposing MAGA clown this badly. Even Megyn Kelly at some point looks like, okay, that's a bit much. But Marjorie stood fully firm on her position. Just imagine how things are going under this administration that even Republicans are turning on him. People from his own side, from big positions, are now going against him. And it's not just Marjorie Taylor Greene. Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes, and many, many more are also slamming him because they know these policies are beyond stupid. Here's Marjorie Taylor Greene exposing what many Americans don't know about it.
Most Americans are completely against this war because, like you said, the president has made no case for it. We live our ordinary lives and we don't feel threatened by Iran. We don't walk around thinking that in any moment an Iranian ballistic missile is going to land on our head. We don't. Here's what Americans, and I want to read off this list. This is what Americans are focused on. 72% of Americans can't afford health insurance. 58% of Americans can't afford car insurance. 67% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. 31% of Americans can't afford their back taxes. 50% of Americans are in credit card debt, massive credit card debt. That's where we are in America. And I campaigned with the president. As a matter of fact, I was one of the only Republicans that was out there for Donald Trump when the rest of the neocons, by the way, that are just cheering him on now, had abandoned him and were trying to beat him in a primary and stop him from being president again. I was out there on the front lines for Make America Great Again. And Make America Great Again was supposed to be America first, not Israel first, not any foreign country first, not any foreign people first, but the American people first and our problems. And God bless the Iranian people. I hope to God that they can have a government that is for them and that treats women fairly. But what we have seen happen right now is we have seen over 100 little girls killed at a school from a bomb. And I don't know whose bomb it was, but they're dead today because America and Israel attacked Iran. So that's not really good for Iranian women. And our president is saying that the Iranian people are all of a sudden going to topple their regime. Well, I don't think the Iranian people are going to be toppling their regime when they're getting blown apart by the United States and Israel in an unprovoked attack. And yes, it was unprovoked. And Pete Hegseth said this morning, Megyn, he said that we didn't start this war. But I hate to argue with the Secretary of the Department of War. America and Israel definitely started this war, and you can't lie that away to the American people. And so, you know how I feel right now? I am irate. I am furious about this. We are nearly $40 trillion in debt. How much is this war going to cost us? We have seen enough of our American troops dead and murdered for foreign countries. And now we've had 4 dead and murdered, just like you said, for Israel and for the Iranian people, not for the American people. And I don't want to see any more dead and murdered. Our military is filled with some of the greatest people from our country, and God bless their families who are probably losing their minds right now, terrified that their son or daughter or their husband or wife or brother or sister may come home in a flag-draped coffin.
That's what happens when someone gets tired of hiding dirty stuff for so long. This time, Marjorie just couldn't hold it in anymore. Her patience snapped, and now we're all seeing the result. Basically, she's straight up saying the president is a liar and a puppet, and honestly, it's embarrassing for Americans to have someone like that running the country. And at this point, calling this administration clowns is actually disrespectful to clowns. Just like here, a smart CNN reporter completely destroys a MAGA official with a meaningful response after he tried blaming Democrats for supporting the Iranian government.
Yeah, no one is saying Iran has been doing good things. I mean, the Iranian leadership. But
well,
if
there's actually
this
quite
is
a
about
few Democrats and folks who are defending the Ayatollah's right to continue to rule and defending his existence. So I think
who is defending the Ayatollah?
Well, let's see. We've had Elizabeth Warren's former campaign manager out there literally chanting "Death to America" on stage yesterday.
I don't know who that is, but Elizabeth Warren is not defending the Ayatollah. But the reason
we've got
I ask
Ilhan
you,
Omar and Rashida Tlaib who are saying that this is wrong. Actually, with the New York Times publishing an obituary describing me as an avuncular cleric.
I think that was the Washington Post, but again, that's not a lawmaker, that's not a Democrat who is saying that this is what they did. But the reason I ask why this is happening is because we hear a bunch of different reasons from the administration. It doesn't seem like there's anyone settled on one reason. I mean, you just said regime change. Secretary Heggs had said this morning it's not a regime change war.
I think the reason you're hearing so many varied reasons is the varied threats this regime presents.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. We tried. They wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. Again, they wanted to do it. They said, he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. This was our last best chance to strike. We more and more are not wanting to be the policeman of the world. An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat. She would get us into World War III. They're drafting you to go and fight in some country that I've never heard. We may have casualties. That often happens in war. Sadly, there will likely be more.
And that's it. That's how they talk, how they think, how they react, and how they take action. Now, tell me what you think about this. And if you still haven't hit the bell notification, go ahead, subscribe and press it. Thank you so much, and please take care of yourself.